I'm going to share my honest review of this new concealer, so by the end of this video, you will know whether it's worth it, whether to buy it, or whether to try something else. I'm going to cover these 5 things, and I'm going to be comparing it to one of my personal favorites. So we're going to do a little bit of a battle, in-depth review. Here we go. FYI, I purchased this product. This is not sponsored. Links to everything that I mentioned will be in the description. There are affiliate links in there, full transparency. I make a teeny commission off of that. Those little commissions have allowed me to continue sharing my absolutely honest reviews, hundreds of them over the past 8 years over here. Let's start. RMS Revitalize Hydra Concealer. I got my hands on this. I've been testing it for almost maybe 3 weeks at this point. I actually have it on $35 for 0.17 fluid ounces, and you get 26 shades. I have shade C06. The brand also has a shade finder, so that's very helpful. The favorite that I will be comparing, this is just one of the favorites, and this was actually a request, but the Iris Romeo Best Skin Days Concealer. This is one that has wowed me for a very long time. $22 for 0.22 fluid ounces. You're getting more for less money, and there are only 15 shades available in that, but I had no problem getting a shade match. And I have shade 4. I think I'm going to try shade 3 pretty soon. Ingredients wise for the RMS, this is cruelty free, uses organic ingredients, non-nano ingredients, non-GMO. I don't see silicones in here. I don't see sodium hyaluronate, which is exciting because it's in everything. Formulas change, so depending on when you're watching this, this formula might shift, but it's hypoallergenic, and this is absolutely supposed to be a skincare infused makeup item. Emollients are up front. Midway down, you're going to see antioxidants, and then the brand has been using adaptogens in their formulas as well. Squalene is in here, vegetable-derived squalene. So you've got, again, the emollients, the hydrating, moisturizing things. I deep dive into the ingredients back on the website. This is a plastic container. I don't see any information on their website. On the product page that's easy to find, you can dig. I dig for you. It's back on the scorecard again about how to recycle in an eco-friendly manner their products, what it's actually made of, things like that. So that's kind of a bummer. The Iris product has silicones in it, has hyaluronic acid and niacinamide. Those could be deal breakers for you depending on what your skin can tolerate and what you're looking for. It also comes in a glass bottle, the Iris. But overall, RMS is always fully transparent about what's inside their products. Application, you'll see that I put this first on the back of my hand. If you have mature skin, if you have creepiness, fine lines. I've always just had trouble with cream concealers, so I do this quite often. I will use a less is more approach. I just buff it into the back of my hand. I've tried a lot of different brushes here. I've tried the sponge. I recommend trying as many applications that you can because it really can make or break it, and everyone's skin is different, especially when you're looking at it under the eye, and I'll show it on the face as well. But what I tend to do is take a small amount, put it on the brush, and then I just kind of take it on the inner corner, outer corner. I don't really need to go over my lid right now. You'll see that in the full demo, but I'm not going to do that for the purposes of this video. It's really easy though to do just that, so you can already see the difference in coverage. We'll get to that in a second. The claim is that this is light as air. It has a brush applicator here. It's very creamy, it has a little bit of a sheen to it. I would say it's lightweight. I don't feel like this is light as air. It's not heavy. It just doesn't feel like the lightest weight option I've had, but it's really easy to work with. If I'm building, and I talk about this in coverage, I use my finger. If I use the brush too much, I have noticed that coverage really lacks. I don't know what that is. I didn't put any prep or primer or cream on underneath. The finger is the best application for under eye. It's interesting because it is shiny, creamy here. And then when it goes onto the skin, it sort of neutralizes. It gets a little bit more semi-matte to me. You might really like this if you have oily skin, but you're not wanting anything too dry or cakey. This could be something that works for you because, as you can see, like it's going on and pressing in really nicely, but it's not going to give you that radiant glow. You might want that, you might not. They recommend just putting it directly to skin. Again, I don't really like doing that, but I can show you for the face. Just a little bit here. I've used a brush to press this in. I have used a sponge to press, again, all the things. The fingers are a must for me whenever I'm applying it to even out maybe redness, to spot treat. It's a very good spot treatment option I have found. But I have to press it in or else I started seeing kind of settling polka dot pores a little bit. Just didn't really look as good. So use the tools you're born with is what I'm saying. That's what worked for me. And you can see the difference between the two. So it's doing a nice job right now. Just give me a minute. Just give me a minute. Does it effortlessly blend in as it claims to? I don't know if this is effortless. This is a little fussy for me, but I'm crazy and have tried so many different products that I like it real simple and easy. And that's also why I like the Iris Romeo. The Iris, I know I just said I usually put it on the back of my hand. I do that with this too, but this is so easy. It's ridiculously easy, actually. I actually just started using the Sarah Creole concealer brush because the one that I love from Ami Collet, they sadly are going out of business. Such a bummer. This one's so great. So I just press it in with this. Again, I'm doing the brush first, and then I tend to do the fingers after that. I don't have to fuss. It's done. One and done. And when it comes to building, also really good. The advantage of the RMS over Iris in this case for application is that I wouldn't use the Iris on my face as much. You can, but because it gives this veil of coverage, I find it to work better under the eye and on the lid to even out the lid if I need it than I do on the face, but I can drag it down to the face. I also don't like to use a lot of silicones on key areas where my barrier is compromised. That's just a personal call, but it is so easy, so effortless. The application for the Iris and Romeo wins. It's just one of my favorites. You can see the other ones if you want to. It's under Britt's picks. Out of the thousands I've tried, those are my current favorites all in one spot. RMS did a good job. It's a little fussy. I debated between a 3 and a 4, but it ended up with a 4 out of 5. Coverage claims to be a medium coverage for RMS. I saw light to medium. I had to build to get to the medium. Like I mentioned, building with fingers is really the way I think to do it. And then for spot coverage, so I had like a little red breakout here. I have no idea why, but it was there. Just pressing it in. It's very, very flexible, very easy to work with, and for some reason just melts into my skin. So it has its advantages. Overall from Iris, strong, medium coverage out of the gate. What it does that a lot of other products don't do is it gives this veil of coverage. There are some out there that I think compare to this, and I'll give you the full review for the Iris as well because I have alternatives and recommendations that are comparable to this so you can kind of dig in further. But this veil of coverage is so quick, so instant, and it's medium off the bat. So that one has a 4 out of 5. RMS had a 3 out of 5 on coverage. Finish. So the finish for the RMS, the claim is that it's supposed to give a satin-like finish. This is not a negative in my opinion, but I don't know, like satin, I think of what satin looks like, and I feel like there's a little bit more of a glow under there, and I don't get a ton of glow from the finish. To me, it's more of a semi-matte. It's not cakey, but it's more of a semi-matte. The other claim here, which is why it didn't get the greatest score, got kind of middle of the road, they say crease proof. Fans are throwing that around a lot lately. Crease proof, self-setting. I can't even tell you how many times I've seen the claim and it doesn't work like that for me. And I try every application technique out there. So no, in my experience, this was absolutely not crease proof. As a matter of fact, I have creasing going on right now. The wonderful thing that happens with Iris and Romeo is you'll get a couple of creases here and there, little baby creases, but application will of course help with that. But there's such minimal creasing from Iris and Romeo, so I don't usually need to set it. The RMS I needed to set for sure. I do like to use the RMS on powder for setting a lot these days. It's what I'm leaning on. It's finely milled, and the RMS Hydra Concealer does work very well with the powder for the next couple of hours. We're going to get to wear test next, just to get a little bit of blurring, a little bit of setting, so it's going to last throughout the day. I rarely set the Iris and Romeo, like I mentioned. If I do set it, I've had this one for, it's not expired, but I've had it for a while. I've noticed that later, months and months later, if I set it, there's maybe a little bit of a dulling. When the powder goes to it, the shade slightly darkens. I'm nitpicking, but it also works really well with powder. Fewer creases, 3 out of 5 for the RMS. Iris and Romeo, 4 out of 5. The wear test. So liquid concealers be creasing. This is what they do. So I expect a little of it. I'm not expecting absolute perfection. I think crease proof, crease free. You got to be careful when you throw those claims around because 9 times out of 10, they don't hit the nail on the head. But what kept happening for me with the RMS, the coverage really faded on me. And I was surprised. Now, I live in Tennessee right now, high humidity, summer, that could be a part of it. And I work out, but it was not crease proof again, which I've already said. I sound like a broken record. Even with setting, I saw lines here, and sometimes I see lines out here for crow's feet, which drives me nuts. And I don't have a ton of them right now. I'm 45 years old, by the way. So they're there, like the lines are there, but they definitely get more pronounced, and you'll see it in natural light on the wear test video. The coverage really got to me though, the coverage. And if I put it on with the brush only and didn't do the finger technique, the coverage looked way faded. If I used the finger on top to press it in here and here, I'm not talking about the face as much, but mostly under the eye, then it would be a little bit better. But it was not a strong wear test for me after multiple 8-hour wear tests. And it has a claim specifically about it being long wearing after 8 hours. This is where I kind of bake in if they have any tests that they talk about for skincare results. Visibly reduces the look of crow's feet and fine lines after 30 days of use. This is a study that they did. They had 30 participants. Now, it could have been a great study and comprehensive, but right now I see it was just for 30 people. I don't know what age, I don't know what gender, I don't know what their lifestyle is like. To me, that doesn't really hold a lot of weight, which sucks because the brand could have spent a lot of money on that. I just like details because I'm into that. I have only used it for coming up on 3 weeks, so I couldn't give you a fair answer on whether or not I'm seeing a minimized crow's feet situation. Minimized appearance, I should say. That's the correct phrase because they're not getting rid of the wrinkles. They're going to minimize the appearance of it. I'm not seeing that right now. So for wear test, it did get a 2 out of 5. It just really kind of let me down there. Iris Romeo, however, wears really well. If anything, there's a little bit of creasing, but coverage wears really well for me throughout the day with Iris Romeo, 4 out of 5. Iris kind of beat RMS the entire way. If you haven't noticed, the total scorecard score for the RMS new concealer is 12 out of 20, which hurts. These scores can change and I will update you here. But Iris is a 17 out of 20. I know it's rough, but I always keep it honest with you over here, and I will continue to do so. If you like that, don't forget to take 2 seconds, hit that like button if this is at all helpful for you. It makes such a huge difference. And remember, just because it's not a fit for me, it doesn't mean it's not going to be a fit for you. But my final verdict when I finish this, will I buy more? Say it with me. No, she's not going to buy more. It's probably obvious at this point. It just didn't stand up to the claims, but also really didn't perform for me. So I'm going to stick with what works. And in the meantime, I do like using it on the face for additional spot coverage. I'm going foundation free lately, so I've just been using concealers and things like that. Overall, it was not a win for me. If you've tried it and you've liked it or haven't liked it, share your honest experience below. I love having other opinions over here, and let us know your skin type. Context really helps. Thank you so much for watching. Again, I hope you found this helpful. I will be right back here real soon with some more honest reviews. Until then, bye.